Hi students, I'm your so today we are going to discuss another basic topic that is regarding that the weathering and soil formation. In previous two video, I already discussed two things, that is the what is weathering, after that physical weathering. In this video, I am going to discuss the next topic, that is the chemical weathering. Okay, so let's start. Before starting this chapter, we have to discuss what is chemical weathering. Okay, perhaps you know what is chemical weathering. Chemical weathering involves the chemical decomposition of the rocks and soil. So this is known as a chemical weathering. So chemical weathering occurs when the mineral present in the rocks react chemically with water and gases in the atmosphere, and due to this fact what happened, sometimes we can say that there is a disintegration of the rock. So unlike the rocks that have the weathered mechanically, so you can say that these rocks have different chemical composition. So in this process, chemically the rocks are changed. So this thing we have to memorize. Okay. Second thing, chemical weathering process that can be in the different type: dissolution, solution, carbonation, hydrolysis, okay, oxidation and reduction. So these are the rocks and the act on this carbonation in the process, in this different process. By using this different process, solution, carbonation, hydration, and perhaps you know that is oxidation, the chemical or the properties of the rocks change. So that's why it is called the chemical weathering. Okay. Second, the third thing, if you want to discuss this weathering process are interrelated and go hand in hand and hasten the weathering of process. So this can also this also related to the physical and biological, some with the chemical weathering. So these are interrelated. Okay, and some of the external forces, water, you can say that, then the rivers, okay, then some chemicals, this very active in this matter. Okay, active produced by the biomicrobial, that is also known as the, or the root metabolism, that is also known as the word that is called the biochemical or biological, that is the biological weathering. Okay, perhaps you can see behind me there are types of chemical weathering, that's carbonation, hydration, oxidation and solution. So this we have to discuss one by one. First, let's start from the oxidation or reduction. What is oxidation? In weathering, somehow you know, oxidation means the combination of minerals with the oxygen to form the oxides. Okay, as per you see, and hydroxide. Okay, so red soil appears red due to the presence of the iron oxide, that is the Fe2O3. So when this react with the water, so that time this kind of oxide form, and due to this fact, red soil, color of the red soil in geography we already studied, color of the red soil is red because of the presence of iron oxide. Oxidation occurs where there is ready access of the atmosphere and water. If there is a, you consider there is a reaction between the atmosphere and water, so that time that can happen. Okay, second, third thing, if you want to discuss the minerals of the most commonly involved in this process, that is the iron, manganese and sulfur. So these are the three components, these are the three things or the minerals which are involved in this oxidation process, that is the iron, manganese and sulfur. They can directly work with the, or directly relate with the water, and that time the another composition can be found over there. So that we have to memorize. When oxidized mineral are placed in the environment, so where oxygen is absent and reduction takes place. So reduction when there is no oxygen, some other components are mixed with these minerals, so that time it is called the reduction. Okay, some such as you can say that usually exist in the water table and in case of the stagnant water locked in the ground, and red color of the iron upper of the reduction, that also greenish or the bluish color because of the oxidation or reduction. Oxidation is you can say the loss of the electrons in your chemistry language. If you want to do the chemistry language, so that time it is the electron of increase or decrease, or that is called the, means the oxidation is the loss of electrons. or increase of election, gain or loss of election, that can be, you can say, that's called the in atom, that is called the oxidation. Okay, so here you can say some example. 4Fe means ferrous, then that is reacted with the oxygen and water, and that time you can say the ferrous oxide has been, you can say, the formed. If you see the rusting of the iron, okay, so that's the another process. Okay, so this the example of the oxidation. Next come to the carbonation or the natural solution of the weathering. Carbonation refers to what? Refers to the reaction with the carbon dioxide to give the carbonates and bicarbonates and carbonic acid. So when carbon dioxide reacts, with the what? Reacts with the some portion of the, you can say, the rocks. So that time you can say that you can get the carbonates, bicarbonates and carbonic acid. Carbonation weathering is a process in which atmospheric carbon dioxide leads to solution and weathering. So that also can happen. So carbonation weathering is a process in which the atmospheric carbon dioxide lead a vital role or play a vital role to get the solution. As a rainfall, if you know that during the rainfall, carbon dioxide mixed with the air and weak the acid, and that time form the calcium carbonate, and this calcium carbonate that are responsible for the acid rain, or the, you can see, the sulfuric acid, or you can see the rain acid. So due to this fact, we already experienced that the color of our Taj Mahal has faded because of the carbon dioxide mixed with the air, and that time, and this air mixed with the water, and that can create or that can develop a solution or the acid solution. That is why the problem occurs. Okay, so that also, when carbonic acid reacts with the limestone, so that also, that calcium carbonate which is partially soluble in water, so that also can be caves, means the area which are formed with the limestone. So this area, you can say, that easily react with the calcium carbonate. Okay, we react with the water, and that can create the calcium bicarbonate carbonate. Karst topography, perhaps you know Yugoslavia, so there we can see this type of reaction, and due to carbonation there is also weathering occurs in that area. Carbonation also, you can say, the process of the seeds with the decrease a temperature, because colder water holds more dissolved carbon dioxide, okay, gas. So that's why the problem started. So carbon dioxides are, perhaps you know that the carbonation is a large features of the glacial weathering. So this and this. Okay, so this is all about the carbonation. One diagram I want to show this this carbonation process is going on, and after the changing, perhaps you can need crust topography. You can see the sinkhole already developed. Then come to the stalactite also developed in the you can see the land limestone topography area. Okay, in later part we will discuss a lot about this. Next, come to the next slide to discuss, that is the hydration. Hydration is a chemical addition of water. Hydration, okay, hydration, okay, hydro means the water. So water addition with the and form the H plus or OH minus ions. Okay, so this hydroxyl or hydrogen, you can see the iron molecules, you can see the directly mixed with the rocks, and that time you can see the weathering occurs or the erosion occurs. When the rock minerals take up water and increase the volume of creates the physical stretches within rocks. For example, iron oxide are converted into hydroxides, which are the larger in volume. Hydrogen is reversible, and continued repetition of this process causes the fatigue in the rocks and may lead to their disintegration. The volume changes in mineral due to the hydration will also help in physical weathering through the exploitation and granular disintegration. So this can be happen occurs when the water combines with the minerals, most often in a granite, okay, mica and the feldspar to form the clay. Somehow you can see one example I have given, that the chemical weathering or the hydration. So hydration means the water mixed with that, and due to this that become fragments. So that's the process of hydration. Okay, then come to the hydrolysis. Hydrolysis, what is hydrolysis? Hydrolysis is biological hydrolysis. Water is molecule is consumed, or you can see that to affect the separation of the larger molecules, so that time into the components apart, so that time it is called the hydrolysis. Okay, and the biological hydrolysis, pure water react with the silicates or carbonate minerals, resulting in the complete the dissolve of the original minerals. So this also, so dissolution weathering occurs. Biological hydrolysis is the, you can see the reaction with the controlling the amount of the CO2 in the atmosphere, can affect the climate also. So hydrolysis, the reaction with the water in which a molecules of the cleavage, you can see the part of this addition of the molecules of water affect the silicates and carbonates minerals. Pure water ionized and react with the what? The react with the silicate minerals, and that from feldspar hydrolysis. Feldspar due to the reaction with the hydro or the water, that comes from the kaolinite. Okay, so this we have to discuss the hydrolysis. Next, it is very important another, that is the biological or the weathering. So biological, we all know that the number of animals, and you can say the or small animals are living in the soil. So they again and they living in the soil. Due to this fact, what happened? They, you can see that take a vast part or take an important role in weathering process also. This is called the biological weathering. So biological weathering is a removal of the minerals from the environment due to the growth of the movement of organism. Here you can see the earthworm, then the squirrel. So these are animals, or the jackal. Okay, these are animals which are living in the soil, and a living organism contribute to both mechanical and chemical weathering in that regard. Lichen, you can see that, and the mosses grow in the essentially rock surface, that also take a you can see the very important role in the chemical, you can see the microenvironment. So that we have to understand. Second, third thing, if you want to discuss, that is the on the large scale seedling. Okay, seedling sprouts or the crabs or the plants, whatever living on the earth surface. So that also provide or create a cracks or fragments of the soil or the rocks. So slowly that can take a part in the weathering. Borrowing of the weathering by organism like earthworms, okay, rodents, help of the exposing the new surface or the to chemical attack, and assess the penetration of the moisture and air into the soil, okay, and into the rocks also, that can also take a part. Decay in plants and animals matter help the production of the humic, carbonic and other acids, okay, that which is enhance the decay and solubility of the elements. So that can also happen. Algae, which is another important thing during the in the wet season or the wet area or where the rainfall is very high. So algae can be developed on that area. So more algae means the concentration help in the iron and manganese oxide into the rocks. Okay, so this so much we so far we discussed some of the process of the chemical weathering types: oxidation, hydration, hydrolysis, okay, carbonation and biological weathering. Okay, so this much for today. Thank you for watching this video.